Hola. So I just got done with an energy session, and I've been doing this this was our sixth session, but I started this technically 8 weeks ago, and it's amazing. I used to not stay committed to things that were healthy for me, for example, like therapy, or like investing into like programs to educate myself on like self-love or inner child work, stuff like that. And thank you. And so I'm just really proud of myself for staying consistent and committed to essentially healing my energy and my spirit and making it a priority, and also staying consistent with therapy and doing that. I know that I know I have struggled with depression in the past, and so when I gave birth to Spirit, I was like, I need to go back to therapy because I was really concerned about postpartum depression and it being like really bad, especially with not having her father around, and like going through the breakup with that, and just a whole bunch of other like personal things. But it hasn't gotten like as bad as I thought it would. I think that's due to the fact that like I was proactive about, allowing myself to be in a space where like I have different resources to reach out to people, and so that's been really good. But I do want to, say that it's not something that like is 100% gone away. Like I still struggle with it, depending on the day, depending on like the time. I get triggered by different memories and stuff that come into my awareness, my field, my energy field, and but I also have been able to start utilizing tools that are really helpful for me when those situations arise. And I just wanted to share that with people, just in case somebody else is going through something and with depression. And I know how like hopeless it can feel. And actually this morning on my Google search, it reminds me of different memories that pop up. And today, like 2 years ago or so, I self-harmed, and this is something that's like really personal. Like I don't really share it with a lot of people or in the amount of depth that I'm going to share right now. But before this time, I had self-harmed, but not in the way that I had 2 years ago. And so 2 years ago, trigger warning also, if anybody's watching this on the replay, like, and you don't want to hear this, you can exit. But yeah, I wrote or carved, whatever you want to say, hate on my thigh, because at that point in my life, I hated myself. I hated my body. I hated the experiences that I was having with people. I was going to college, and there was a situation that happened with friends that I was, in a group with. We no longer became friends, and I felt really alone, and I didn't have any family in Kansas. I didn't really have any close friends that like really knew me well. I felt like a stranger to myself and to everyone around me. And but I didn't want to deal with that emotional pain, so I caused myself physical pain. And And yeah, I didn't share this with anyone until in June of that year. I went to Virginia with some friends, and they saw that I had self-harmed hate on my thigh, and they were like, whoa, what's going on? And even still at that point in time, I didn't really like go into detail with them about like what was really going on with me. And also at that point in my life, I had experienced sexual assault like 3 or 4 days before my birthday. And that was just something that I was just like in shock about. I guess like I really was just like, I never thought that that was something that was gonna happen to me. And so yeah, I was like, I've struggled with depression since like middle school, and I've tried to, kill myself like multiple times. And it's not something that I really take lightly. When other people, share that they struggle with depression, or even suicidal thoughts or tendencies and stuff like that. Like, I really want people to know that they're not alone. And for the longest time, people would say like, find your why on why you want to live. And I'm just like, there is no why. Like, for me, like, I don't care about myself that much. So nothing external I felt like was going to make me internally care about myself enough to have a why, because I didn't see any reason to live. I didn't see any value or worth in myself. And I attracted situations in my life that reflected that back to me. And so yeah, 2017, like, I feel like was a really low for me. Like, I heavily isolated myself, and I became really paranoid, and I had social anxiety. And yeah, so looking back on it then, and then looking at my life now, like, I'm just really grateful to have the polarity of, or even the contrast of having experienced that. And in 2019, I believe, I checked myself into a psych ward, a mental facility, and that was the first time that I made decision to come out to like my family about my depression, and really take it seriously and get the help that I really needed, because not talking about it or just keeping it to yourself, it can be really dangerous, in the sense of you're not connected, you're not in connection with anyone, and you don't allow yourself to be connected with anyone, and that puts you deeper in the rabbit hole of that depression. I mean, just speaking for myself, like, it wasn't until I, started like telling like my brother, for example, like how I was really feeling, and him being able to like reflect back to me like just a deep love, that I'm like, wow, somebody like does love me like this deep and unconditional. And just, I'm so grateful, for him like holding space for me in that way, and making me feel, connected, because especially like with my family, I didn't really feel connected with them. And or like I could even talk to them about like my emotions. And so that was like just really healing for me. And having just like friends, say like, hey, I love you. Like, I'm very much a words of affirmation person, and quality time. So Yeah, it's been like an uphill battle, you know, struggling with depression, and some days are better than others and some days are worse than others, but I have to continuously remind myself that like 10 plus years of self-destructive habits and tendencies and thoughts and wiring my brain in that direction is not just gonna, you know, be fixed over like a year, 2 year, 5 years time span. Like I, like a plant, have to be like gentle and patient with myself and my growth, and continue to allow myself space to go through the lows and the highs, and to just enjoy them and to be present with them and to thank them for the lessons that they teach me. And I know that, like, you know, some things are really easier said than done when it comes to healing and depression, and you know, getting better. But being able to like discipline yourself in the moments when you're feeling like really low, and not discipline yourself like in a bad way. I think like just making a commitment to yourself to be compassionate and to be gentle is really important, and to know yourself in those situations, like to know, okay, when I'm starting to isolate, this is my behaviors and this is what I do and this is how I act, and to be able to have I don't know, just like a friend or somebody to be like, hey, these are like a little bit of like my morning, you know, signs. And the main thing is just, you know, not being hard on yourself also for falling back into habits or tendencies that you did to protect yourself, or and I also want to touch base on affirmations too. Like a lot of people would be like, oh, just tell yourself affirmations, and sometimes you're not gonna feel what you're saying, and sometimes you will, but all in all, I have been able to see, you know, my why is me. Like, it doesn't need to be something external, you know, for like me to want to live. Like, life is very beautiful, and when you're in a depression episode, it doesn't always seem that way, it doesn't feel that way. Sometimes you can't see, you know, the good or the beauty in things, but I am here to say that you will. There will be moments that you'll be like, wow, this air feels so good. The sun, you know, feels so good. Just being able to walk and little things like this too shall pass. It's really true. And now, like, you know, I have a daughter and she's another reason to live, but that's not to say, like, you know, as moms who struggle with depression, we don't think about like, oh wow, even this person may be better, you know, off with me or whatever. Like, so yeah, I just felt really inspired to share a little bit about my journey and things that I'm going through and things that I'm learning from, because I'm just like in the headspace to do that. And I feel like my energy sessions that I've been, you know, staying consistent with in therapy have really like helped me so much to see the light at the end of the tunnel for myself, or even to be like, you know, where I'm at now is not going to be forever. It's like, it's just not, like, and all of these feelings can be temporary. The really low lows are temporary, the really high highs are temporary. Like, we can experience a wide range of emotions in any day. And we can also choose what thoughts we're thinking that then create the emotions that we're experiencing. And I realized for myself that sometimes my body is so used to being in like depression or stressful situations that it creates those kinds of experiences. And I have to be like, oh wait, no, Alyssa, like, you do not have to experience like such high stressful or emotional experiences. Like, my body can be at peace. Like, I can feel at home. I am home. Like, it is okay to not dissociate and to be present in my experiences. And so, yeah, if anyone, can relate or is going through like a really low low, just know that you're not alone, and that it'll pass. And if you choose to see that you are worthy and you are deserving of loving yourself and creating better experiences for yourself. So, hope you guys have a good Thursday. Bye.